We thank God for everything that's been said and done.
Oh, yeah.
Thank God for what He's doing in this season. Now, I was praying and asking God what He would have me to say to the people.
Hallelujah.
Saying, Lord, you know, they need to hear from you. They need a word from you.
See what's going on, though.
And initially, as I was praying, a couple of thoughts and ideas God gave me. He first reminded me that today, June 28th, is the 26th Sunday of the year 2020. It's the 26th Sunday. So we're literally right at the midpoint. You halfway in. There's only 26 more Sundays in the year 2020. You're right in the middle. And then he reminded me of some of the things that many of us began to tell ourselves and say to ourselves at the beginning of the year. How we began to say that 2020 was the year.
Help us, Lord.
It was the year of vision and purpose. And we said, oh, 2020, I'm going to have 2020 vision. I'm going to see clearly. I can see it all now. And, you know, some of us were saying that, you know, we weren't seeing too well in 2019. But in 2020, I'm going to be able to see. It's a year of vision. You heard it preached in pulpits and all over. Well, people were telling you that 2020 was the year of vision and how people were going to really see something. And God began to say to me, well, how's it looking to you?
Well,
right? I mean, as we find ourselves midway through the year, you know, and you were talking about the vision that you either had or was going to get, he began to say, how's it looking to you? Did you see all of this coming? Was this part of your vision, part of your plan? You know, I was reading, I saw one person who said he was trying to think of, it struck him because, you know, many of us, as we do our yearly planning and try to keep up on things, we buy a year planner, a day planner. You know, they sell them for the year. So you had to a 2020 planner where you begin to make your plans of when you plan on taking vacation, where you plan on going, when you're going to do this, when you're going to, you just start filling it with dates. Yeah. So you have a sense of how your year is going to go. And this gentleman said that was one of the biggest wastes of money. Buying that 2020 planner. He said he can't think of how he wasted more money. Because everything that he thought he was going to plan for 2020, the year has changed all of that. You know, whether it was his vacation plans, his travel plans, his conference plans, when he was going to do this, whatever he was planning on doing, so far, the year has turned all of that stuff on its head. You know, when we think about it, you know, we started off 2020, January 2020. We couldn't wait to see 2019 go.
Good riddance.
We said, whoo, God, you brought me out. 2019 was rough. I'm looking forward to 2020. We said 2020 was going to be our year. We claimed it.
Yes, we did.
Jesus. We said, oh, that's going to be the year, 2020. motherfucker got a little jump on and thank the Lord and, and all of that. So, in the minute, he said, now, you midway. They done told y'all that you done hit a milestone as it relates to this coronavirus, COVID-19. That worldwide, over 10 million people have been infected with it. Here in the United States, over 2.5 million. Here in the United States, over 125,000 people have died from it. It is now recorded historically as the 4th major event in the history of the United States in dealing with deaths of U.S. citizens. The only 3 events that outpace the coronavirus incident is basically the Spanish flu that happened in 1918, the Civil War, and World War II. Other than that, we have lost more American lives than any other event.
That's a lot of folks.
And God starts saying, how is it looking to you?
Help us, Lord.
Are you seeing clearly? And people, in looking at this and dealing with this, and many of our expectations, some of us are extremely frustrated. Because right after we heard all this news, they said here in Florida, oh, by the way, y'all just set a new record high for people testing positive with the coronavirus. And it's been a new high every day for the last 5 days.
And the dead broke all in.
They keep breaking records every day. Just when y'all thought y'all was out of the woods, when y'all thought it was safe to go back into the water, just like in the movie Jaws, here comes Corona. You thought it was okay to reopen, and now you had a spike and a surge. You were smug before when y'all said, yeah, New York, yeah, they really getting it. Let's not let them come down here. We're going to put a ban on New Yorkers and make them have to sit out and self-quarantine for 2 weeks. Now they doing the same thing to us.
That's right. Don't even want us to.
He said, how is it looking to you? And then just when you're like, Lord, we've been battered as it relates to that. He says, and just to add to the mix, he reminded me that we still have civil unrest going on throughout the country. Every day, each day you got protests, marches, and stuff going on throughout the country, and then they keep finding more film footage of how the police, law enforcement, have managed to take the life of another innocent African American or black person. Now they're showing you, they said, last year, remember? Y'all covered this thing up. Y'all just arrested this other man for no reason and shot him with some chemicals. And before you know it, y'all took him down to the hospital and he died. But y'all didn't say, you didn't have a reason to stop him other than, he looked suspicious.
Come on. Give him this shot.
And then they show you film footage with someone with the knee on the neck of a woman.
Oh, boy.
Then they show you and report to you how, in trying to arrest somebody else, the woman was pregnant, so they pulled out the taser gun and tased her in her stomach.
Oh,
and you start saying, Lord, how much more?
Amen. How is it looking?
People start saying, enough is enough. And God starts saying, how's it looking to you?
It's worldwide now.
I mean, it's it's gotten so bad. That's why they got people now protesting about racism and having civil unrest, not just here in America, but in London and in Paris and in Sydney, Australia, and all over the world, in Germany, and it's breaking out all across the country, not just country, all across the world, where people saying this thing of racism, it has to stop.
Amen.
And you said, Lord God, you know, we thought we were beyond this. After all, we did have a black president.
Yeah. We thought that
we thought that somehow that had fixed it all, that we were post-racial.
No.
And they said, wait a minute. In case you forgot, this stuff's still going on.
Oh, yes, I would.
And as we begin to look at all of this, and I'm saying, Lord, you know, it's enough to just to give you a pause, and it should drive one to their knees. And it says, y'all still ain't had enough. Then the news breaks out and says, oh, by the way, it's summertime, and now we have incidents of West Nile virus from all these mosquitoes coming to bite. And we have a different kind of virus also getting ready to attack. He said, West Nile virus too, Lord? Then in certain parts of the world, they reported that they're now having locusts of biblical proportion over in Africa and East Asia, so much so that they said people are facing food scarcity, and if it continues at its current pace, 10% of the world's population will be facing hunger and starvation.
Help us, Lord.
He says there are people who have food insecurity. It ain't just simply they got to open up the store to eat again. The locusts are eating the crops.
Before they get to the store.
And then they said, oh, and now as we look and as we deal, he said, oh, you realize it's now hurricane season. You got a Sahara dirt storm, dust storm flying over you. They got fires breaking out, tornadoes breaking out, hail going on, all kinds of stuff. He said, how's it looking to you? 2020, how is it looking to you? Did you have a vision of this in January when you couldn't wait to see it come?
No.
You know, some folk, they said, I'm going to start the year off right. I'm going to start it with God. Other folk just said, I'm starting the year off, child. I'm going to do it.
Gotta be better than last year.
He said, well, did you seek me about 2020? Did you seek my face? Did you put me first? So that I could prepare you for what was getting ready to come. So that you would have some reserves. See, because notice, when you think about Brother Joseph, God didn't stop the famine for coming to Egypt. He simply made Joseph aware of it so that he could prepare. They planned and prepared for it, so when the famine came, Joseph still prospered. See, some folk in the midst of corona, in the midst of civil unrest, in the midst of everything else, they are still prospering. And other folk who didn't seek God, who didn't think about God, who was just doing their own thing, they catching head. So God starts saying, how's it looking to you? Did you talk to me about the vision you were having? about what the plan was for 2020? Did you seek my face? I could have warned you about some of this stuff. I could have prepared you. You could have put some things in reserve. You could have been a little bit better off. So I'm saying, Lord, this thing is hard. This thing is tight. And he says, I want you to look at something. He says, because all y'all was talking about seeing.
2020.
He said, go with me to the Gospel of Mark. Mark, the 8th chapter. And he pointed out a specific incident where we're dealing with a blind man. It's the 8th chapter, and we're going to start at about the 22nd verse. And it says, and he cometh to Bethsaida, and they bring a blind man unto him, and besought him to touch him. And he took the blind man by the hand, and led him out of the town. And when he had spit on his eyes, and put his hands upon him, he asked him if he saw aught, or if he saw anything. See, now think about it. Some of us, we feel as if though we thought we were going to be able to see in 2020. We thought we were going to have 2020 vision, but it feels like we've been stumbling through blind. And some would tell you it feels as if though somebody's spit in my eyes. I can't see a thing. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. They may shut down the state again. I don't know. Some people thought they were going to have a job to go to, and they put that on pause again. Just when some people thought they were going to be able to deal, all of a sudden, grandma got sick. Some people thought they were going to be able to handle some stuff. Then, in addition to grandma, grandpa, mama, daddy, they had 5, 6 of them in the same family. That'll turn things upside down. You can't go to work. Family's sick. You worried if I'm going to get it. Don't know if you got enough to take you through. God says, how's it looking to you? Just like he asked the blind man, how you seeing? Now, this is a situation now where God had laid his hand, after he spit in his eyes, he laid his hands on him. Now, most of us, we have been conditioned to just simply think, Lord, all I need is a touch. If you could just touch me, if you could just lay your hands on me, it'll be all right. Lord, if you just touch me, I got it from there. Just one touch from the master's hand. This is one of the only incidents in the Bible where Jesus touched him and then asked him the question of, how you seeing? See, sometimes God's hand is upon you and you think that it's the devil. You going through some things, but God said, I'm trying to help you to see. Because some of us won't look unless trouble is forcing us to stretch our eyes. Notice, even before he spit in his eyes, he had to first get him out of his comfort zone. He took him out of the town. Took him out of the place that was familiar to him. Took him into areas he had never been in before. See, See, if you know about blind folk like familiar places. That way they don't have to try to see. They can remember, I know it's so many steps to this and it's so many steps to that and this is over here. They can navigate a room or navigate a situation and never have to see with their eyes.
Just don't move nothing.
And God starts saying, I'm going to take you out of your familiar, and now you can't rely on that. I'm going to put my hands on you in such a way where you're going to have no choice but to say, Jesus, thou son of David, have mercy on me.
Go toward the sound.
You're going to have to say, Lord. So now, he takes him out. He comes out of Bethsaida. Because now remember, Jesus was mad with Bethsaida already. He said, he put a curse on the city. He said, look, he said, if other folk had heard the word and seen all the miracles that had happened in Bethsaida, they would have repented long ago. He said, but you wouldn't hear. And he says, it's going to be better for other places in the judgment than it's going to be for Bethsaida. He named a few cities. Even pointed out one of the cities that had heard him and seen all the miracles. He said, it's going to be better for Sodom and Gomorrah than for y'all. So he was like, I'm not going to even heal you in Bethsaida. I'm taking you out of the town. So now he gets him out of the familiar. He places him in a situation where it's new, it's difficult, he's unfamiliar, he's struggling. And then while he's doing all that, all of a sudden he spits in his eyes. And he said, Lord, what's going on here? In other words, an observer of this might think things done went from bad to worse. But Jesus said, no, I'm going to put my hands on you now. And he touched it. Now, when we see this sort of situation in other places in the Bible, sometimes Jesus would just speak a word and folk got healed. Sometimes he would touch them and they got healed. So here's a situation where the Lord touched him and then asked the question, do you see anything? Now, the man, after seeing that question, after being asked if he saw aught, if he saw anything, it says, and he looked up and said, I see men as trees walking.
What's wrong with that?
Now, you see, he could have just simply said, yes, Lord, I see something. And went on about his business, saying, he touched me, I see a little bit, I'm going to deal with this, thank you, I can see a little bit.
No.
But God doesn't want us to settle.
Amen.
He doesn't want us to just get part of the blessing. He don't, see, scriptures tell us that he who has begun a good work,
He will complete it.
he will continue and perform it and perfect it and complete it. He's going to work on it and complete it.
No matter how long it takes.
Even until the day where he returns. He said, I'm going to work on it. But you got to stay with me on it. See, some of us, we just so used to things happening instantly. We looking for miraculous healings. We looking for miracles. We looking for somebody dropping money out the air. We looking for, we don't want somebody to give us a good idea of how to make some money.
No.
We just want them to give us all the money. See, sometimes God's blessings are progressive.
Yes.
It takes time for us to get the full benefit. He has begun a good work.
Finish it.
Now, if you had the vision that 2020 was going to be your year, and God is asking how you see right now, you got to have enough faith to be able to tell him the truth that right now it doesn't look good. But I know that you who have begun a good work in me, that you're going to finish this. And it's not over till you say it's over. We only half the way through. I went in. If I'm halfway, that means I'm looking forward to coming out. You know, it's like that thing when they tell you how far can a dog run into the woods. And the answer is halfway. Because after halfway, he ain't running in anymore. He's running out. So we halfway into the year. So now we're not running into 2020. We're getting ready to run out. And God says, I'm going to bring you out. Now he told y'all said this was my year. Y'all had the vision. He says, if I gave it to you, hold on to it. Even though it's not looking all that clear to you right now, hold on. Don't quit. Don't give up. Don't get afraid. Don't be tentative. Have faith in God. So now, when we look at it, after the man said, I see men walking as trees. Men as trees, walking. 25th verse, it says, after that, he put his hands again upon his eyes. So this is the second touch. See, some of us, we need a second touch. We said, Lord, you done brought me this far. It's been rough. 2020 has been difficult.
Help us, Lord.
Now, you gave me this promise in my heart at the beginning of the year that 2020 was going to be better than 2019. I claim that. And I'm not going to let the enemy take it away from me. I'm not going to all of a sudden abort the promise that I received from you. If 2020 is supposed to be better, I'm going to hold on to that. But Lord, I need you to touch me again.
Oh, yes. Amen.
I need a second touch.
Nothing wrong with that.
I want to make sure that the vision that I thought I received, that I can see it clearly.
Amen. Clearly. That's it. That's the key.
He said he put his hands upon his eyes. He put his hands again upon his eyes and made him look up, and he was restored and saw everything, every man clearly. That second touch. Some of us, we need a second touch.
Yes, yes.
In order for us to come out strong in 2020. In order for us to be like Joseph and prosper in the midst of the famine, in the midst of the plague, in the midst of coronavirus, in the midst of everything that's going wrong right now, God says, I can still prosper you. I can still bless you. I can bring you out strong. But you got to trust me. You got to lay hold to Psalms 91. Saying, I'm going to dwell in the secret place of the Most High. I'm going to abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I'm going to make the Lord my refuge and my fortress. He's going to be my God, and him I'm going to trust. You got to start, you have to get it into your heart and mind to say, look, 1,000 may fall at my side, 10,000 at my right hand, but it's not going to come nigh my dwelling. It's not going to come near me. God's going to keep me. He's going to bring me out.
Oh, yes.
He's going to bring me to an expected end. He's going to bring me out into a wealthy place. And while other people are catching hell, God's going to take care of me. He's going to perfect that which concerneth me. He's going to use this. All things are going to be worked together for my good. He promised me in Romans 8:28 that all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are the called according to his purpose. So I love the Lord. So whatever's going on in the world, coronavirus, civil unrest, plagues of locusts, storms, fires, whatever it is. Because when you think, okay, well, after they tell you about the coronavirus, they say, oh, we might hit it where come fall, it turns into regular flu season. And you're going to have the flu going on at the same time coronavirus is going on. And all these things happening at the same time. You start saying, no, God got it. You see, if you just listen to everything that's going on and you don't focus on God, you start saying, oh my goodness, something's going to get me. If I escape this, this going to get me. You got folk who just drive in their cars and people driving by shooting them for no reason. I mean, if you allow yourself, if you don't focus on God, fear can grip you. Then you start thinking, am I going to make it out of 2020? You try to go to one of these food lines and say, I'm going to get some grocery or some food, and all of a sudden, you know, people look at you and say, we ran out. Now you're mad.
All your gas gone.
You done been sitting in a line for 8-9 hours calling yourself going to get a test, and you done about run out of gas. And you get up there finally, and then they tell you, we don't have no more tests today. We just ran out. We get a new supply tomorrow. Come back. And you start thinking to yourself, what is going on? And God starts saying, trust me.
Amen.
Ask me for a second touch. Ask me to lay my hands on you again. Seek my face.
Oh, yeah.
If my people who are called by my name would humble themselves and pray and seek my face. Since then, you got to seek his face and you got to turn from your wicked ways. Then he'll hear from heaven. And he'll heal your land. God says, look, you can't leave me out of this mix. I would think that with everything that's coming, with everything, it's like they're stacking on top of each other. Some of us are having Job experiences. It seems like every time it's one after another, and you got folk dying all around you, and all this stuff happening, and co-workers getting sick, and we having this experience. And God starts saying, now more than ever, it should dawn on you. I need to talk to God about it. Now is the time to seek God like I've never sought him before. Now is not the time to be playing around and half-stepping. We got to say, Lord, if it had not been for the Lord who was on my side, I wouldn't have made it. I mean, Brother Marvin Sapp had that wonderful song where he says, he never would have made it without God, without the Lord taking him through it. See, some of us are coming to that realization. We still trying to do our own thing, and God starts saying, if you won't listen, it keep coming. It keeps stacking up. After a while, you're going to have to say, I yield. Have mercy. by yourself. Then people will put more stuff on you. You have to get to a place where you start saying, Lord, I can't do this by myself. I need you. You not only can just keep me and take me through it, but you can prosper me in the midst of it. I can come out stronger and better, in a better place. Because in the midst of all of this, I look to you. You see, when Egypt was going through its plague, and when they were dark and had flies and everything else, it was light in Goshen. God can take care of his people. In the midst of famine, in the midst of crisis, in the midst of sickness, in the midst of a plague, God can take care of his people. But you got to seek him and put your faith, hope, trust, and confidence in him. It's not about you and how smart you are. Oh, I got a good immune system and it won't affect me. And it's not about you. But for the grace and mercies of God, you can walk out there tomorrow and pick up something. I mean, understand that this virus is not discriminating. We got other discrimination problems in the country, but the virus is not discriminating. Everybody is susceptible. At first they thought it was just going to be the old people. Yeah. Oh, tell the seniors to stay home. It's just the old folk. The young people, we can get out in the street. Now all of a sudden the average age of people catching it is in their 30s. And they talking about people ages 18 to 35 catching it now. And they on the rise with it. And then they tell you, oh yeah, and some of the children done caught it. And somebody, she had a baby and the baby had it. And they start letting you know it does not discriminate. So now you can't say, oh, I'm special and it ain't going to get me. The only way you can have that kind of confidence is saying, I trust God. And God's able to keep me. And if he sees fit to allow me to catch it, he's going to bring me through it and bring me out. But all of it requires for you to stop this madness of thinking that somehow you special, separate and apart from your relationship with God. The coronavirus could care less about your constitutional rights. Child, we free. I don't need to wear that. I can do what I want to. Okay. When you end up sick and coughing and facing death, then all of a sudden your freedom of assembly and freedom from all this other stuff, all that stuff go out the window then. You're not concerned about that now. Oh, I wanted to go to the rally. Okay. Did you take any precautions? No, it ain't going to get me, child. I'm young, I'm single, I'm strong. Okay. Did you pray about it? Did you talk to it? No, I ain't got time for that. The man got his foot on my neck. Okay. You better talk to God. With all of this stuff, God says, look, I can bring you through it. I can bring you out if you trust me. Ask me for another touch. Ask me to, bring you through stronger and better and more able to handle the weight and the load that's placed on you. Don't just run off looking at men like trees. When folks say, how you seeing? How's it looking to you? Tell the truth. Don't, oh, it's fine. It's fine. Tell the truth. Say, oh, right now I see ministries, but I know God is able. He's already promised me I'm going to see it like it's supposed to be seen. I'm trusting him for complete restoration. And by faith, I know I'm going to see fine and well. And all is well. Because he promised me it would be. So no matter what I'm facing, no matter what I'm dealing with, God got it. So all is well. All is well with my soul. All is well. All is well because my trust is in Jesus. All is well. I don't care what they tell me is coming. God got it. And I know, people say, well, Charlie, you know we living in the last days. Yeah, I know. It's in time. Which would mean that more folk need to be getting right before they go home. Because if it's not the virtual end of days, it might be the end of your days. And you need to make sure you're ready to meet Jesus. God says, look, if you trust me, I'll bring you through. So I look at it, I said, well, Lord, if it gets too bad, I know if it's in the days and you've been getting ready to come, I'm ready to go. Even so, come, Lord Jesus. If you're ready to take me home, I'm ready to go. I'm trusting you. Because I know you're going to make it all right. You're going to provide for me and my family, and you're going to take care. You're concerned about that which concerneth me. You're able to keep everything that I commit to you. So I've committed my life, I've committed my family, I've committed it all to you. I know you're able to take care of it, you're able to keep it. I don't have to stay up worried every night, wondering if somehow is my family going to be all right, or if my kids going to catch something, or if somebody else going to get sick. Lord, I commit them to you. I pray for them. I intercede for them. But I'm committing them to you. Because I can't save them. That's your job. And it doesn't pay for me to just can't sleep at night because I'm so worried. Because God has not given us a spirit of fear. He's given us love, power, and a sound mind. And he started saying, if you're worried and stressed out, he said, you can't change one hair on your head. You can't, your worrying ain't going to make anything better. He said, trust me. Ask me for another touch. Say, Lord, I need you. I need you now more than ever. I'm holding on to the promises of God. And you promised to keep me and bring me through 2020. So I'm getting ready. We at the midway point. It's time to run out the year. Amen. I want to come out strong. I'm going to use all that I've been through to say, I know my Lord is able to keep me. It's going to bring me out with a greater anointing. Saying, Lord, you kept me doing all of that. Whatever is still facing me and confronting me for the rest of 2020, you're able to keep me. You're able to bring me through it. And you're going to bring me out into a wealthy place. Lord, I trust you. I know it's looking bad. I know when they say, how does it look to you? I know it's looking bad. But I know you're not finished working. No. God is still working. He's still moving. Yes. You got to be in on the move. You got to trust God in the process. Amen. And when it's time, you say, Lord, I'm expecting great things. My testimony hasn't changed. I'm still expecting great things in 2020. I'm still holding on to the promises of God. I'm expecting God to show up and show out, all in the midst of 2020 and in my life. And even while everything seems topsy-turvy, seems like all hell is breaking loose, I know God is able to keep me and preserve me and prosper me. It's like being, as they say, in a bubble. See, they've been talking about this bubble now in terms of what they're getting ready to do for the NBA. They want to put them in a bubble. So in that little world, everybody is okay, and we're going to keep all the harm out of it. And that bubble, we want to make sure that the bubble, everything is okay. God says, I'll keep you in that bubble. All hell can be breaking loose all around you, but because you're in a bubble, it can't touch you. You protect it. So we say, Lord, I'm going to look to you. I'm looking to you for the second touch. Lord, I need you to touch me again. And I don't mind you spitting in my eyes. As long as you touch me again. As long as you make it where I can see. That I can see clearly. I don't mind. I don't mind you taking me out of my comfort zone. And putting me into an area where I don't know. And I'm unfamiliar. But Lord, as long as I know you're with me. And that because of your touch, I'm going to be able to see clearly. That while I'm in this uncomfortable, unfamiliar situation, Lord, I'm still looking to you for another touch. Looking for you to be with me and to bring me out whole, sighted, able to see all of the blessings and benefits of God. So God started telling me, now is the time for the second touch. We getting ready for the second half. We getting ready to run out of 2020. He said, now more than hold on to the promise that you received at the beginning of the year. Don't let the trouble all around you cause you to abort the promises of God. Don't let it make you feel as if though somehow you heard wrong or got it wrong. When God said he was going to bless you and prosper you in 2020, hold on to it. The year's not out yet. It's not over till God says it's over. You know, you've seen some of those situations where it's like a fight or a game. Like they were losing. They were getting beat up all throughout the first half. And then all of a sudden they came out in the second half. It was a whole new game. They came back and won the game. It's halftime. As we get ready to go into this second half of 2020, now is the time to remember the vision that God gave you. What he said to you, what he spoke to you about what he was going to do with you and in you in 2020. And despite the virus and the unrest and everything else, hold on to what God said. Hold on to what he promised. Hold on, don't quit. Don't give up. Don't lose hope. Don't lose heart. Don't let what you're seeing cause you to abort God's promise. So now is the time for us to say, Lord, I need that second touch. Touch me again. Amen?